255 on security assurances to NPT non-nuclear weapon states. So it also talk about assurances, security assurances to the countries who sign nuclear NPT under the UN umbrella. On 11 April 95, the five nuclear weapon states issued harmonized negative security assurances for non-nuclear weapon states, parties to the NPT through UNSCR 984. So basically, they asked the non-nuclear weapon states not to acquire nuclear weapons, but they'll be given assurance for their security under United Nations Security Council resolutions. Another important issue in NPT is the verification and compliance. The IAEA verifies non-nuclear weapon state compliance with commitments under NPT not to acquire nuclear weapons. And Article 3 requires non-nuclear weapon state to conclude agreements with the IAEA to safeguard all nuclear materials in all peaceful nuclear activities. So this is the idea behind verification and compliance. Under this agreement, the non-nuclear weapon state is going to carry out some agreements with IAEA, International Atomic Energy Agency, just to safeguard their nuclear weapons, nuclear installations, nuclear material, and equipment, people, everything. So negotiation of such an agreement should begin immediately after the non-nuclear weapon state accession to NPT and enter into force within 18 months. So this is also a very important thing in this particular. Verification and compliance also talk about in case of non-compliance with IAEA safeguards, the IAEA Board of Governors call upon the state to remedy the situation and reports the non-compliance to the UN Security Council and UN General Assembly. The Board of Governors may also impose specific penalties, sanctions, such as curtailment or suspension of assistance, return of materials, or suspension of privileges and rights. इसका मतलब ये है कि a country which acquire material, for peaceful purposes, it must also follow the safeguards of IAEA. If it doesn't follow the safeguards of IAEA, so IAEA, with the support of UNSC or UNGA, can impose certain sanctions of that particular state. तो उसके अंदर उनकी जो एड है या जो मटेरियल उनको मिला है वो भी सस्पेंड हो सकता है और जो प्रिविलेजेस राइट्स मिले हैं वो भी खत्म हो सकता है. The UNSC may impose sanctions and approve other measures, like for example United Nations Security Council and many other individual actors like European countries, America, they impose sanctions on Iran and of course North Korea for not following their command. So this is the idea behind. If a country doesn't comply with the directions or safeguards of IAEA, automatically they are going to impose sanctions. The IAEA BOAG has found 6 states in non-compliance with their safeguard. For example, these states are Iraq, Romania, North Korea, Libya, Iran, and Syria. These states, according to BOAG, are not, complying the safeguards of IAEA. There are no verification provisions for nuclear disarmament commitments under NPT. And in the review process also talks about, the review of the NPT, which takes place after a few years, just to understand the underlying issues with the treaty and how to improve and how to strengthen this particular treaty. Now, what are the challenges to NPT? This is the most important part of the lecture today. Number one challenge is that nuclear weapon states have not relinquished nukes. They still possess nuclear weapons, and they are now improving their nuclear warheads. Especially if you analyze Russia, even today, Russia possesses about 6,000 plus nuclear warheads. United States of America still possess about 500, 5,500 nuclear warheads. Then you got China with 350 nuclear warheads, France with 290 nuclear warheads. UK possess about 195 nuclear warheads, Pakistan 165 plus, India 160. and Israel and North Korea also possess, a nuclear weapon. So basically, the countries, they still possess nuclear warheads, they still possess nuclear weapons. So this is a major challenge to NPT. Unless or until these nuclear weapons are there, signing of NPT, is a dream for the non-signatory states. Now, who are the non-signatory states? Of course, Pakistan, India, Israel, and North Korea. They are the non-signatory states. They have got their own issues. For example, India believes that China is assertive power, and Pakistan believes that India is an assertive power. If India doesn't give up the nuclear weapons, we are also not going to give up nuclear weapons. If India doesn't sign NPT, we are not going to sign NPT, because India initiated, or India introduced nuclear weapons in South Asia. So this is one of the reason that non-signatory states are also challenged to NPT. Then you got conventional arms race. This is also a major challenge, because countries are acquiring more and more nuclear weapons, conventional weapons. They are pouring a lot of money. For example, United States of America got a budget of about $700 billion, and the rest of the world also, the Chinese also got a budget of about $261 billion. So it's a huge, huge budget which is there. So these countries are actually, pouring a lot of money. They are improving their, conventional capabilities. So this is the reason that other states who are, they are in the system, they feel security dilemma. Like, for example, let's take the example of Pakistan. If India is spending about $71 billion, or more than $71 billion on their defense, so automatically Pakistan, which is facing economic crunch, would definitely feel insecure. And just to and Pakistan cannot match India with, numerical strength. Obviously, India would be ahead of, in the conventional capabilities. So the only nuclear weapons are there which can, which can balance Pakistan's military capabilities with India. And this is something which is going to prevent India from any sort of aggressive action against Pakistan. So this is the reason that because of the countries of their conventional arms race, this particular treaty is facing, challenges. Unresolved issues, of course, India, Pakistan, United States of America, Russia, China, all these states are, involved in certain issues among them. And these issues are still unresolved. For example, let's take example of South Asia. Kashmir is the core issue, and still it is unresolved. Water issue is serious issue between India and Pakistan, which can provoke another war in this region. This is also unresolved. North Korea, US, Japan, for example, South Korea, their issue is still there and it is unresolved. North Korea is a belligerent power, it is a aggressive power in East Asia. China, US, economic clash is there, and of course they are also vying for strategic, dominance in East Asia, in the Asia Pacific region. So that issue is still there, and that is also unresolved. Russia, US, of course, they have got clash over many areas. For example, they have foreign policy clash in Syria, in Iran, in Yemen, in Middle East, for example, as a whole, and of course in Afghanistan. So these are some of the issues which are still unresolved, and because of these issues, these countries have got issues with each other, and they mistrust each other. The modernization question is still there. These, many countries, they are acquiring more and more nuclear warheads. They're improving their conventional capabilities, and slowly and gradually they are, improving their overall capabilities. So because of that, you can't expect Pakistan, country like Pakistan or North Korea, to sign NPT. Non-compliance is the most serious issue, the most serious challenge for NPT, because many countries in the world, they does not work under the IAEA safeguards, and they are not following the protocols by IAEA. So and these protocols, these safeguards are very much important just for the security of nuclear material installations and all the other things related to your nuclear program. So compliance is very important under IAEA, and this is also a major challenge that many countries ignore this particular thing. And of course, major powers tussle is there. major powers like United States of America, Russia, and of course China. They are considered as major power, and all these three states are, some way or the other, they are in clash. China and Russia, they are on board, and they have got a loose alliance against the United States of America, and on many areas, their foreign policy, convergence is there against North against United States of America. For example, you can see China and Russia, they were on the same page in Afghanistan issue. Both countries are also on the same page on Iranian issue, on the Syrian issue, or on many any other issue in the world. So this clash is provoking, these states to acquire more and more, capabilities, advanced capabilities, conventional capabilities. They are improving their overall capabilities. So such type of, steps, aggressive behaviors, economic clash, political clash, strategic clash among these states, it is also a threat for the NPT. And this is the reason that countries like, other states are not actually seriously looking towards NPT. So guys, this was all for today, and we have discussed about NPT, and NPT is a non-proliferation treaty which was signed in 1968, and the ultimate purpose of this treaty was, non-proliferation, disarmament, and of course peaceful uses of nuclear energy. And ultimate aim was states without nuclear weapons will not acquire them. So the countries, those who don't have nuclear weapons, they will not acquire these nuclear weapons. Countries would pursue nuclear disarmament, and of course, all states can access nuclear technology for peaceful purposes. Provisions we discussed in detail also, like for example, all states who have acquired nuclear weapons before 1967 are the real nuclear weapon state, and they are the de jure nuclear weapon state, and others are non-nuclear weapon states. We also talked about non-proliferation, disarmament, peaceful use of energy, Article 5, verification and compliance, and of course, at the end, we discussed about the challenges to NPT, and these challenges we discussed in detail. If you got any question, you can ask. Thank you very much.